Hi there, hope you're keeping well. My name is Angela. So today I want us to look at prostate cancer and one food that is effective in preventing prostate cancer. And even if someone is going through that journey, this food would really help. And it is tomatoes. So I'm sure you are probably already aware of the fact that tomato can help fight prostate cancer, but even most importantly, prevent prostate cancer. So if you're a man, you have concerns about prostate cancer, then make tomato thy friend. So we're just going to talk about the science behind it. Several studies have shown that high intake of lycopene rich foods can reduce the risk of cancer and also aid someone that's going through the cancer journey, prostate cancer journey. So tomato is a fruit, and I think in every country in the world you'll find tomatoes. It's very easy to grow. I'm growing some in the garden at the moment, so very easy to grow. Tomatoes contains lycopene, and lycopene fights cancer. There are other foods that contain lycopene, but tomatoes seem to be the fruit that has the most lycopene. And there are ways you can optimize your intake of lycopene from tomato. To optimize your intake of lycopene from tomato, there are some facts you need to know. Number one, the tomato needs to be very ripe. Very ripe. And when you see tomato in the vine like this in the shop, then it is one to get, because it keeps it fresher, and the fresher the tomato, the more lycopene you get out of it. So it needs to be very ripe. Once you purchase your tomato, keep it out of the sunlight, probably in your fridge, because sunlight after it's been harvested degrades the lycopene. Then also between the plum and the cherry tomato is best. So probably that's why it's more expensive in the market, in the shops. So go for the cherry tomato because it contains 1 mg more lycopene than the plum one. That's when you compare the same volume. Let's say a cup of tomato that contains 1 mg more of lycopene than the plum ones. So it needs to be very ripe. Keep it away from sunlight before you cook. And also the cherry ones are better, but you can use a mix. I use a mix. Then tomato needs to be cooked. So one of the reasons we have to cook tomato to get the lycopene is oil soluble. So oil and gentle heat would open the cells for that lycopene to be available to our body when we consume the tomato sauce or the whatever tomato. So that's why it needs to be cooked. It needs oil as well. When they talk about synergy of food, this is one of the foods that work so well with oil to get the best. Just like turmeric works with black pepper and oil to get into our body, for our body to absorb it, to be bioavailable for our body. That's how oil makes lycopene available for our body as well, for the cells. So it opens the cell. This is why it's essential that we use oil when we cook our tomato sauce. Extra virgin olive oil, it's very good for us. Coconut oil, it's very good for us. Also, if you're having your vegetable salad and you have some tomato there, for example, to get the most out of the fresh tomato you have there, because you haven't cooked it, use some olive oil, or better still, foods like avocado. So avocado is rich in good fatty oils. So if you have it with avocado, like guacamole, you are really optimizing your intake of that lycopene in the tomato as well. So just little things to think about when we're thinking of absorbing the best out of tomatoes. To get the best out of it, it needs to be processed. So much so that even ketchup has more lycopene than fresh tomato. But the problem with ketchup is it's processed, it has sugar, has salt. So if you must consume, don't use it as an alternative. If you must, minimally. Pure tomato as well contains as much as cooked tomato, but not fresh. Contains more lycopene than fresh tomato. So the tin one contains similar to the fresh one, but maybe slightly more. But this is not to say we're encouraging having processed tomato, but the fact about tomato is for lycopene, the more processed that tomato is, the more lycopene you get out of it. However, we need to cook our tomato gently. Get as much as you get from the ketchups and all the other processed tomato, but without the sugar and the salt, yeah, and all the preservatives. So again, it's the fresh one that is best. Cherry tomatoes have more, and you cook minimally, so you don't fry it with really hot oil. I'm going to show you how I would cook a typical tomato stew, and just put on low heat. Olive oil or coconut oil are the best oils, especially for cancer fighting. This is because they're the ones that are the least processed oils to extract from. So it's when they are extracting like sunflower oil and all of that, they have to really heat them up to extract them. Whereas for olive oil, extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil, you could get a lot from cold pressing. So in just comparing, for 100 grams of tomato, there's 15 to 30 mg of Lycopene ketchup, 15 to 30 mg of Lycopene tomato puree, that's that, 5 to 10 mg of plum tomato. Just this fresh tomato has between 3 and 5 mg compared to ketchup that has 15 to 30 mg and tomato puree that has 15 to 30 mg. Plum tomato 5 to 10 mg. Yeah, that's the plum, because it's been processed as well. Yeah, so cooked tomato sauce has as much as the ketchup and the plum, which is 15 to 30 mg. That's because we cook it. Yeah, so we're going to cook this to get the most of lycopene. Yeah, so that's the best way to have your tomato. So lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that has been studied to reduce the risk of certain cancers like prostate cancer, also helps with lung cancer, stomach cancer, and other types of cancer, but very effective in prostate cancer. So for someone going through that prostate cancer journey, make tomato stew with omega-3 rich oils, and you can add your vegetable, your green vegetable. Cook in very low heat. Don't fry the oil. The days of frying oils are over. Or that is just for the pleasure of smelling it. Otherwise, we are turning the food to poison. So what we want to do is just add our oil in the pot, add your blended tomato, and just cook it gently. You still achieve the same taste when you cook for like 40 minutes slowly, as against when you fry it. You're just kind of cooking it quicker when you fry it, but then turning it into poison. So we want to add the oil to the pot and just cook gently. We have a lot of tomato stew recipes in Nigeria, but what I would say is don't have your tomato with white rice. White rice is not good, especially for someone going through cancer journey. Cut out the carbohydrate if you can. Eat like a diabetic. Yeah, you can use tomato sauce for beans, for example. Eat more of protein. So let's cook our tomato stew. So we're just going to blend the seeded red bell peppers, which have lycopene as well. So but tomato has the most, but bell pepper also has lycopene. I've got onions there, which contain, so use the purple onion, especially if fighting cancer. Use the purple onion. It contains what they call anthocyanin, and anthocyanin fights cancer cells. And also it's from the allium family, like garlic as well. Contains sulfur that fights cancer as well. So some garlic there, some bell pepper. Cayenne pepper as well has cancer fighting property. That's a topic for another day. Yeah? So we're just going to blend this. I almost forgot my ginger. Add some ginger. Every opportunity, add all the cancer fighting foods. Tomato is blended. Put on the heat. Extra virgin olive oil is the best, especially if fighting cancer. You can have up to 3 teaspoons throughout the day as well, directly. Yeah, just to get the benefit from olive oil. I'm not going to fry that. I've just added it. It's still not hot yet. You can see I just add my blended tomato. I'm going to rinse that out. So we'll just forget that for now. So the heat is very low and it's the small burner, and I'll leave that for up to 40 minutes, just cooking slowly. That's how you preserve the lycopene in your tomato. Don't cook with high heat and don't fry the oil. So it's 40 minutes later. Add some fresh bay leaves from my garden. tender bay leaves, some rosemary. So you add any spice you fancy, and some oregano. These are all cancer fighting herbs, yeah? So oregano, you can add a bit of cinnamon if you want. Some salt, just Himalayan salt, pink Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt contains a lot of minerals, so it is preferred to table salt. Sea salt is also very good, contains mineral because it's from sea, so the original sea salt is good as well. But the table salt is just refined, has little or no benefit. So that's our sauce. Hasn't been fried, but it looks like it was fried. You can see the oil. That's because it's been cooking slowly, about 40 minutes later now. And yeah, it is ready. So taste for your salt. If you notice no seasoning, I would encourage you don't use artificial seasoning because they contain a lot of chemicals that we don't know. Especially during cancer treatment, you want to stay away from seasoning like Knorr cube and stuff like that. But I'm weaning myself off it. Yeah. For someone going through treatment, just cut it out. There's no point. So I've just added some oven cooked peppered codfish. And this is one way you can make your tomato stew, especially for someone with prostate cancer. This is rich in lycopene. When you cook in oil, it helps the absorption of lycopene in the body. So yeah, that's your tomato stew, cooked gently to preserve the lycopene. Every little helps, like they say. So try this, add it to your diet, eat it a lot, not once in a while. Eat a lot of tomato soup, tomato in salad. And when you have it in salad, try to drizzle some olive oil in it as well. The olive oil will help absorb the lycopene. So thanks for watching, and also subscribe if you haven't to our channel if you want to keep getting useful videos like this, and share the video as well. Leave your comment, and I'll see you in my next. Thank you, and God bless you.